notion of giving focus to our actual situation, our actual situatedness. We are constantly adapting ourselves to our environment, adapting ourselves to our sociocultural situation. It's when we get into the habit of this ceaseless adaptation that we begin to over-confine our options, over-confine the full breadth of our possibility. So opening up to whatever the possibilities of life may hold is already being truncated, already being squashed in. I mentioned yesterday that one of the ways we do this is by developing the habit of goals, rather than by setting general targets or a target range of where we might want to go and what we might want to do. We develop very hard and fast enclosed goals. These goals become gels of our future selves, gels of our current selves. They become gel bars through which we look at what we have done, so that if we've had successes in the past, they pale in comparison to having not reached our goal. If we've had failures in the past, they make the gel even more damning that we've set ourselves up into. But we also do other little things that we adapt. We adapt also by how we allow other people to define us. The way that people view us. Like yesterday I also said, I don't want people just to see me as the philosopher, the guy that they go to philosophize about. I can't tell you how many times there have been people who know that I am a philosopher by vocation and that I really sort of think of myself in that way as what I do, and they will just start talking to me about philosophy, but not professional philosophy, and not even the kind of philosophy as a way of life sort of thing, but it's like they're just trying to come up with something to converse with me about. When that happens, I generally try to take an assessment of the situation and just see, is this person really wanting to kind of engage, or are they just trying to get through some sort of a formula, some sort of a, I need to get through the formalities of this moment. This also happens with me it's happened to me as a barista, it's happened to me as a secretary, it's happened to me, as just being a gay man or a man in general. It's like, people will spark up a conversation with you based on how you may already be established in certain kinds of sociocultural definitions. We have to overcome these things. We adapt ourselves to them too much. I am not just a man. I am not just a gay man. I am not just an American gay man. I am not, see how it's all beginning to, I'm a human being. I'm a human male. I'm a human gay male. I'm a human gay male who philosophizes. I'm a human gay male who philosophizes and works as a secretary. And we just trunk, and we just make it shorter and more confined and more narrow, and until we're very well pegged. We're very well associated. So that introductory mantra that I was talking about the other day, it's not to pre-establish who we are. It's not to cut off people from trying to find out who we are. It's to offer certain lines of exchange. I am a Texan by birth, a cosmopolitan by inclination, etc., whatever, etc. It's not trying to define myself, and it's also not trying to keep you from defining me. It's just sort of opening up an exchange possibility, so that I'm not just adapting myself. And if you see what's going on there, I'm taking control, in a sense, of the very things that could become definitions that are foisted upon me. Oh, you're a Texan. Oh, you're one of those cosmopolitan people who thinks that everybody has a right to to be, you know, to the freedoms of the world, of nature. Oh, you're a barista, so you know a lot about coffee. I only want to talk to you about coffee. Oh, you're a secretary. You're not an academic. You know, you're not a professional or a, you know, you're not something. Some sort of a teacher, or you're not some sort of a chief executive or something like that. Oh, you're a philosopher. What are you going to do with that? It's to take, really in a sense, to take into my hand vectors that I use to have an idea of my actualities in 21st century America, and then offer other people a means of kind of getting a glimpse into me, but also of giving me the opportunity to get a glimpse of who they are without already defining them, right? It's the biggest issue, really, because in one sense, this is really sort of what Socrates was always doing when he said, I don't have students, I have friends. The word friend and the word free in our language, English, there's the nice etymological accident, because it doesn't really prove anything, so I'm calling it an accident, that free and friend actually derive from the same Indo-European root. And so, to me, when I think about the fact that someone is a student or someone is a secretary, well, if I let them be my friend, if I think of them as my friend, then that frees up a lot of the over-adapting constrictions that we already put on something, right? Of course, Facebook and other places have diminished even further the meaning of friend, but on the other hand, they're also opening it back up, because the friend should be someone who frees you up, not someone who over-defines you. So in adapting ourselves to not just being adaptive, we seek the kind of liberty that can only be had in the sorts of real, genuine communications that occur when I can open up my actual situation to the actual situation of another. When we can be now here in a world where we're regrounded and we seek to communicate with each other from friendship. And it's not the case that we will completely, utterly, and 100% achieve communicative exchange, right? We'll always shipwreck at some point, because not everything I experience, not everything you experience can be brought to the fore so that we can have a 100% exchange between each other. But we can really try, and the only way to really try and get farther along in the process is to not in any way, shape, or form predefine or presume or presuppose about ourselves and about others. It's when we get caught in the adaptation to these presumptions, to these assumptions, to these presuppositions. When we get caught in the ceaseless adaptation to these things, that we are not actually able to focus on our situation, and being unfocused in our own situation, we can't focus on how to open up to anyone else. So we pre-establish what they think, we pre-establish who they are, we pre-establish what they'll do. Stop trying to get ahead of yourself. This is another aspect of being slaves to our goals. We meet somebody and we want to pre-establish who they are, what they are, how they are. And we lose sight of the fact that we might not have even talked to them in 10 years. We might not have ever talked to them ever. They may be a brand new person who's entering our life. And we're already making assumptions about who they are and what they are. This is what Carlos Castaneda means by the necessity of needing to lose our personal history. And I'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow. The need to lose our personal history in order to achieve this moment where vital reason can detach us from merely existing. I hope you have a wonderful Cinco de Mayo today, and I'll talk with you tomorrow about the loss of personal history as a segue into opening up to the possibilities of being fully alive in a world where everything isn't predefined for you. Tranquilitas et bonum.